Hi students, first of all I welcome you all to my video number 2 on the discussion of model paper 3. In the first video we discussed 24 questions. You know that part A and part B and of course part C of the model paper were discussed. We'll continue the discussion, that is in part C of the question paper, that is question number 25, and that is from coordination compounds chapter. You know this the question is, based on VBT, valence bond theory, explain hybridization, geometry and magnetic property of NiCl4 times 2 minus ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. Tetrachlorido nickelate 2 ion. You are supposed to explain hybridization, magnetic property and geometry of this complex by making use of, yes, it is valence bond theory. You know the complex is this: NiCl4 times 2 minus. This is a complex. First of all, you are supposed to decide oxidation number of central metal atom. Yes, this is the complex. Oxidation number of nickel, Xn ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Chloride is -1 into 4. Total charge of the complex is -2. Therefore, X is equal to +2. This is oxidation number of nickel in this complex. Because of that, you start with electronic configuration of, yes, it is nickel plus 2 ion, because this is argon, this is 3d8, for a 0 this is the electronic configuration of nickel plus 2 ion. Now we'll start with orbitals of nickel plus 2 ion. We'll start with orbitals of nickel plus 2 ion. You know, we have 3d orbitals, right? 3d contains 5 orbitals. 3d subshell contains 5d orbitals. Avada? This is 3d there. It contains 5d orbitals. This is 3d subshell. 4s that contains, yes, it is 1 orbital. 4s subshell contains 1 orbital. In the fourth main shell we have 4p also. In the fourth main shell we have 4p also. Therefore, 4p is also present in the valence shell, and we have 3 orbitals here. This is 3d, this is 4s, and it will be 4p subshell. Avada? Now you distribute the electrons among the available orbitals. According to Hund's rule, you are supposed to just fill 8 electrons in 3d. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, after 5 electrons, electron pairing takes place when 6th electron enters into the 3d subshell. 6, 7 and 8. 8 electrons are accommodated in 3d subshell. No electrons in 4s, no electrons in 4p, right? And of course, in the complex we have, yes, it is Cl minus is a ligand. It's a weak ligand. You know, in presence of weak ligand, right? In presence of weak ligand, Cl minus, no electron pairing against Hund's rule. No electron pairing against Hund's rule takes place. You must write this sentence, right? No electron pairing against Hund's rule takes place in presence of weak ligand like Cl minus 1. Therefore, the right electronic configuration of nickel plus 2 ion in presence of weak ligand Cl minus, right? Electronic configuration of, in the valence shell electronic configuration of nickel plus 2 ion in presence of weak ligand Cl minus, that remains as it is because no electron pairing against Hund's rule takes place. there will be no change in the electronic configuration. You will left with 2 unpaired electrons in nickel plus 2. You will left with 2 unpaired electrons in nickel plus 2 ion. Look at this, 4s orbital is empty, 4p orbitals are also empty, right? Alva. And we have 4 ligands in the complex. Each ligand contributes 1 pair of electrons for the formation of complexes. Totally 4 Cl- ions will donate 4 pairs of electrons. In order to accommodate those 4 pair of electrons, we need 4 empty orbitals. Because of that, 1 s orbital and 4p orbitals undergo hybridization. That results in what we call it as sp3 hybridization. That results in sp3 hybridization. Right, this sp3 hybridization, yes. This is, and of course, d orbitals do not take part in hybridization because all the d orbitals are occupied by electrons, and this is the electronic configuration. Yes, 1 s orbital and 3p orbitals undergo hybridization, and you are going to get 4 sp3 hybrid orbitals, 4 vacant sp3 hybrids, that is sp3 hybrids. These 4 vacant sp3 hybrid orbitals overlap with the filled orbitals of ligands to form 4 coordinate bonds between ligand and central metal ion. And know that like that, the complex formation of complex NiCl4 2 minus, that is because of the overlapping of 4 empty sp3 hybrid orbitals of nickel plus 2 with 4 filled orbitals of, yes, it is ligands, and that results in the complex there. Yes, this is 3D. There will be no change in the configuration of 3D subshell. Adu as it is because we have weak ligand here. Here we have 4 sp3 hybrid orbitals, right? They overlap with filled orbitals of ligands, right? They overlap with filled orbitals of ligands. Now I am writing orange colored, I am using orange colored chalk in order to indicate the electron pairs donated from, yes, it is 4 ligands. Look at this, these orange colored representations, they are the electron pairs donated from the ligands. These are the electrons present in central metal ion. So this is what we call it as the 4 electron pairs. 4 electron pairs from ligands. 4 electron pairs from ligands. This is how the complex is produced. Therefore, as far as on the basis of this particular discussion, there is a sp3 hybridization. There is a sp3 hybridization. Whenever you are writing sp3, you write small s, small p. Because of that, geometry is tetrahedral geometry. Look at this, complex contains 2 unpaired electrons. Complex contains 2 unpaired electrons. Therefore, it is paramagnetic. Paramagnetic with 2 unpaired electrons. You have to write this summary also. Paramagnetic with 2 unpaired electrons. This is how that complex is produced. This is how the complex is produced. This is the discussion. Formation of NiCl4 times -2 based on valence bond theory. This, according to valence bond theory, coordination bonds are produced by the overlapping of empty hybrid orbitals of central metal ion with filled orbitals of ligands. Here 4 empty sp3 hybrid orbitals of nickel plus ion overlap with the filled orbitals of ligands Thereby, 4 coordinate bonds are produced. That is through sp3 hybridization. That's why the complex is tetrahedral. It is paramagnetic because of the presence of 2 unpaired electrons. This is what we call it as formation of this complex, hybridization, geometry and magnetic property of complex based on valence bond theory. Okay, now just yes, it is noted down. Yeah. Now let us see question number 26. Once again from the chapter coordination compounds in part C that carries 3 marks. 26A ದಲ್ಲಿ write IUPAC name of the complex given. 26B ಯಲ್ಲಿ draw the energy level diagram for the crystal field splitting of d orbitals in tetrahedral field ಅಂತಿದೆ. We'll see first of all IUPAC name of the complex given COCl2, right? En twice and of course a Cl. This is the complex given. Whenever you are naming complexes, you are supposed to determine the oxidation number of the central metal ion. Yes. ಅದನ್ನು x ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Yes. Chloride charge ಬಂದು -1 into 2. Ethylene diamine charge ಬಂದು 0. 2 ethylene diamine molecules are there. This one more Cl has got -1 charge. Total complex has 0 charge, that is 0 equals to 0. On the basis of this, I can say that x is equal to +3. This is oxidation number of cobalt here. Complex is positive complex, cationic complex. Therefore, we are going to use ordinary names of the central metal ion. While naming complexes, you have to name the ligands first. That is dichlorido. We have 2 chloride ligands. Then it is bis, or the dichloride of bis, because we have 2 ethylene diamine molecules, bis, ethane 1,2-diamine, ethane 1,2-diamine, spelling ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, DIA, single A, single M, INE, ಓಕೆನಾ? ಈಗ ಎರಡು ಕ್ಲೋರೈಡ್ ಲಿಗ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆಯ್ತು, ಎರಡು ethylene diamine ಲಿಗ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆಯ್ತು, ಈಥೇನ್ ಈ ಬರೀರಿ, ಎಸ್, ethane 1,2-diamine, yes. Then ligands ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ to name the central metal atom, that is cobalt, followed by its oxidation number 3, cobalt 3 chloride. This is the IUPAC name of this particular complex, yes. Then that carries 1 mark, right? Now let us see energy level diagram for, yes, splitting of d orbitals in tetrahedral complexes, right? That is crystal field splitting in tetrahedral complexes, right? Look at this. Whenever you are writing that energy level diagram, you write the energy axis first. You know, we have a d orbitals, 5 d orbitals are there. In the isolated metal ion, all the d orbitals are characterized by very low energy, right? This is d orbitals in free metal ion. This is d orbitals in, yes, it is free metal ion or free metal atom, yes, in ground state. During the formation of complexes, ligands approach the central metal ion. Agagi, energy of these 5 d orbitals will be increased. Energy of these 5 orbitals will be increased. Look at this. Energy of these 5 d orbitals will be increased. But even then, degeneracy of the d orbitals will not be destroyed, because at this particular position, ligands will form a spherical field around the, yes, it is central metal ion. All the ligands, 4 ligands will be at equidistance from the central metal ion. This is d orbitals in spherical crystal field, that is d orbitals in spherical crystal field, that is energy ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಆದರೆ degeneracy remove ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ. You know, these d orbitals will undergo splitting into 2 sets of d orbitals. In presence of, yes, it is tetrahedral field, what happens, energy of T2 orbitals will be increased. We have T2 orbitals, 3 d orbitals we have, we call it as T T2 orbitals, that is T2 the we have dxy, dyz and dxz. These are the three orbitals present in T2 set. Energy of three d orbitals will be increased. Whereas energy of e orbitals will be decreased. Energy of e orbitals will be decreased. Okay, now look at this. As far as E set of orbitals are concerned, we have two d orbitals in the E set. We have two d orbitals in the E set. This is E set. We have dx square minus y square and of course dz square, right? And this is what we call it as E set. Energy of E set will be decreased. And energy gap between T2 set and E set will be, yes, it is delta T. This is energy gap between T2 set and E set. Energy of E set will be decreased. Energy of E set will be decreased by an amount minus, yes, it is 3 by 5 of delta T. Energy of T2 set will be increased by an amount equal to plus 2 by 5 of delta T. This is what we call it as energy level diagram. And of course here it is splitting of d orbitals in tetrahedral field. This is splitting of d orbitals in tetrahedral field. Tetrahedral field is produced by 4 ligands. Tetrahedral field is produced by 4 ligands. Therefore, the extent of splitting in tetrahedral field is less compared to that in octahedral field. At the same time, look here, in the case of octahedral field, energy of T2G set will be decreased, energy of EG set will be increased. But here it is reverse. Reverse agate, right? ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಗಮನಿಸಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದು ಈ ಗ್ಯಾಪ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರಬೇಕು. Decrease in energy of E set will be more compared to the increase in energy of T2 set. ಈ ಗ್ಯಾಪ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಈ ಗ್ಯಾಪ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಅದನ್ನ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಗಮನಿಸಬೇಕು. Yes, and remember why that energy of E set will be decreased and why that energy of T2 will be increased ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, reason is quite clear because in the case of tetrahedral field, T2 set d orbitals will experience more repulsion compared to the E set orbitals because dxy, dyz and dxz, they are in between coordinate axis. They are very close to the ligands approaching the central matter. Therefore, they experience maximum repulsion. Here, these d orbitals are along the coordinate axis and they are far away from the ligands approaching the central matter, and therefore they experience minimum repulsion. So this is what we call it as energy level diagram for splitting of d orbitals in tetrahedral field. Agudala? Yes, note it down, right? Now we'll take up section 4 of part 80 in the question paper. Section 4 is for the questions of physical chemistry. There will be 5 questions and you are supposed to answer 3 questions. Each question carries 5 marks. Question number 27 from the solid state chapter. Yes, here you can expect one problem here, right? Generally in the question number 27, you can expect calculation of packing efficiency of different SLS crystal lattices. But in order to avoid repetition of the questions, I just included one problem here under 27. Yes, silver crystallizes in FCC cubic lattice. If the edge length of the cell is 4.9 into 10 to the power minus 8 centimeter and the density is 10.4 gram per cc, calculate the atomic mass of silver, and with the given Avogadro number is 6.22 into 10 to the power 23. That carries 2 marks. 27p, what are F centers? Mention the consequence of F centers. That also carries 2 marks. What kind of metal compounds show metal deficiency defect? Okay, na? That carries 1 mark. We'll see that problem. Question number 27A noda first. That is on numerical problem on the calculation of SAT's atomic mass by knowing density. D is equal to Z into M divided by A cube into NA. This is the formula. As far as Z is concerned, it is 4 for FCC. You are supposed to calculate atomic mass M. Edge length is given the 4 4.1 into 10 to the power of minus 8. 4.1 into 10 to the power of minus 8 centimeters. That is given there. Density is given there. 10.4 gram per cm cube ಇದೆ. Yes. And Avogadro number is known to you 6.022 into 10 to the power of 23 ಇದೆ. You substitute all these values. That is, you need atomic mass m d into a cube into Avogadro number divided by, yes, it is z ಅಂತ ಬರೆಯೋದು. ಓಕೆನಾ? I mean cross multiplication ಮಾಡಿದೀನಿ. 10.4 it is 4.1 into 10 to the power of minus 8 whole cube. 6.022 into 10 to the power of 23. This is substitution ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇನೆ. Z is equal to 4. D ಬದಲಾಗಿ 10.4 ಹಾಕಿದ್ದೀನಿ. A ಬದಲಾಗಿ 4.1 into 10 to the power minus 8 ಹಾಕಿದ್ದೀನಿ. NA ಬದಲಾಗಿ Avogadro number ಹಾಕಿದ್ದೀನಿ. Z ಬದಲಾಗಿ 4 ಹಾಕಿದ್ದೀನಿ. Yes. Simplify ಮಾಡಿ 10.4 into 4.1 whole cube. Yes. Into 10 minus 8 into 3 minus 24. 10 to the power of minus 24 into, yes, it is 10 to the power of plus 23, and of course into 6.022. ಹೌದಾ? Divided by 4 ಅಂತ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಇದು plus 23 minus 24 ಆದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? 10 to the power of minus 1 ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಹೌದಾ? ಈಗ ಸಿಂಪ್ಲಿಫೈ ಮಾಡೋಣ, ರೈಟ್? Look at this 10.4 into 4.1 into 4.1 into 4.1 into S 6.022 numerator ಆಯಿತು. Yes, it is. And of course ಇಲ್ಲಿ 10 to the power minus 1 ಇದೆ, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ divided by 10 ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. Yes. ಈಗ 4 ಇಂದ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, yes, you are going to get 107.9 gram per mole. That is the atomic mass of silver, and that is m there. This is the calculation of atomic mass by knowing density. Agudala? Note it down. Yes, formula carries 1 mark. Substitution with final answer with proper unit, that carries 1 mark. Okay, now this is 2 mark, right? Now let us see what are F centers, right? What are the consequences of F centers? You know, as far as F centers are concerned, F centers are created due to the defects in crystals. They are the vacant sites containing unpaired electrons trapped in ionic vacancies. They are the vacant sites containing unpaired electrons trapped in anionic vacancies. That is what we call it as F centers. One of the consequences of F centers is they impart color to the crystals. They impart color to the crystals, that is F centers there. At the same time, due to the presence of unpaired electrons, electrical conductivity of the resulting crystal increases. Paramagnetic property of the crystal increases. These are the consequences of F centers. Howda? And of course, this is because of the non-stoichiometric defect. This is because of the non-stoichiometric defects in crystals, right? ಈಗ ಬನ್ನಿ, what kind of metal compounds show metal deficiency defects ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, metal deficiency defects will be, yes, it is shown by the compounds of the metals with variable valencies. That metal deficiency defect is found in compounds of metals with variable valencies. That is, those compounds will show that particular metal deficiency defect. ಒಂದು ಮನಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, F centers are created in metal excess defects ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆನಾ? Now look at that question number 28. That is from solutions, right? One problem is given. Compulsorily you can expect one problem on colligative properties that carries 3 marks. 300 cm cube of an aqueous solution of protein contains 2.12 grams of protein. The osmotic pressure of the solution at 300 kelvins is found to be 3.89 into 10 to the power of minus 3, right? 3.89 into 10 to the power minus 3 bar. Calculate molar mass of the protein. Yes, but R value is given here. It is 0.0823 liter bar per mole per Kelvin. And using this particular data, you are supposed to calculate, yes, it is the atomic mass of the given protein. Yes, any problem for that matter. You are supposed to write the given information first, use the suitable formula, substitute the suitable parameters, right, and calculate the things. ಇಲ್ಲಿ osmotic pressure ಕೇಳಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ I can make use of this formula, that is 5V is equal to nRT ಅಂತ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಆಯ್ತು. I can replace this n by mass of solute divided by molecular mass of solute into RT ಅಂತ ಬರೀಬಹುದು, ಹೌದಾ? Number of moles can be replaced by mass by molecular mass. Therefore, the molecular mass of solute M2 is cross multiply ಮಾಡಿ, this is 5V ಅಲ್ವಾ, W2 RT divided by 5V. This is the formula that I can use. Your mass of solute ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ 2.12 grams ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ, ಹೌದಾ? R ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಕೂಡ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ 0.0823 ಲೀಟರ್ ಬಾರ್, ಹೌದಾ? ಲೀಟರ್ ಬಾರ್ per mole per Kelvin. Yes, per mole per Kelvin. This is R value there. Then temperature is also given, that is 300 kelvins, howda? Osmotic pressure is given, pi is given, that is 3.89 into 10 to the power of minus 3 bar. Units are ಗಮನಿಸಿ, right? Volume is given, volume of solution is given, V, that is 300 cm cube ಇದೆ, right? ಒಂದು ಗಮನಿಸಬೇಕು. You are writing R value in liters, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಕೂಡ ಲೀಟರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀಬೇಕು. 300 cm cube is nothing but 0.3 liters. 1000 ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ cm cube ಲೀಟರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಈಗ ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ you will get the answer 2.12 W2 there, 0.0, yes it is 823 there, yes 823 there into 300, yes, temperature divided by 3.89 into 10 to the power of minus 3 there into, yes it is 0.3 there. Calculate ಮಾಡಿ the molecular mass of a protein. Okay, ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ, that is 2.12 into 0.0823 into 300 ನ್ಯೂಮರೇಟರ್ ಆಯ್ತು. And of course, ಇದು ಡಿನಾಮಿನೇಟರ್ ಇಂದ ನ್ಯೂಮರೇಟರ್ ಇದ್ರೆ 10 ಮೈನಸ್ ಇರಬೇಕಂತ 10 ಬರೋ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇಂಟು 1000 ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಎಸ್, ಈಗ ಡಿವೈಡೆಡ್ ಬೈ 3.89 and divided by 0.3 and it comes out to be, look at this, 44,852.44 gram per mole. That is the molecular mass. You know, generally molecular mass of proteins will be greater than 10,000 irtade, hagagi this is 44,852.44 gram per mole is the, yes it is molecular mass of the protein there. Writing formula carries 1 mark, substitution with final answer with a proper unit carries 2 marks. Substitution is 1 mark, simplification with final answer with a proper unit here 1 mark. Okay na? So this is what we call it as the molecular mass of solute. Molecular mass of solute. Yes. 28 is sub questions. What kind of deviation from Raoult's law is shown by the solution prepared by mixing phenol and aniline? A mixture of aniline and phenol will form a non-ideal solution with negative deviation. Means mixture of aniline and phenol will show negative deviation from Raoult's law. They show negative deviation from Raoult's law. Yes. Illenagutte nodi iga, when phenol is mixed with yes it is, when phenol is mixed with, right, aniline, when phenol is mixed with aniline, a phenolic part of the phenol will form intermolecular hydrogen bonding with, yes it is amino part of the, yes it is aniline. The intermolecular hydrogen bonding between phenol and aniline is stronger than intermolecular hydrogen bonding existing among the similar molecules. Before mixing, there is the intermolecular hydrogen bonding between phenol molecules, there is the intermolecular hydrogen bonding between aniline molecules. But after mixing, intermolecular hydrogen bonding takes place between phenol and aniline. That intermolecular hydrogen bonding between phenol and aniline is stronger than the intermolecular hydrogen bonding among the pure molecules. So that is the reason why the mixture will show negative deviation from Raoult's law. But ನಿಮಗೆ reason ಕೇಳಿಲ್ಲ, just ಯಾವ deviation ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದರೆ, what type of deviation ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ it will be, yes, it is negative deviation from Raoult's law there. How does solubility of a gas in liquid vary with increase in temperature? ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ, as temperature increases, solubility of gas in liquid decreases. Just remember, because of that, soft drinks will be stored under refrigerator at very low temperature, because at very low temperature, solubility of gas in liquid will be relatively more. As temperature increases, solubility of a gas in liquid decreases, because dissolution of gas in liquid is always exothermic. Because of that, solubility of gas in liquid decreases with increasing temperature. Okay na? That is. ಈಗ 29 ಬರ್ತೀನಿ, that is from electrochemistry, right? 29 is from electrochemistry. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ನಸ್ಟ್ ಇಕ್ವೇಶನ್ ಮೇಲೆ ನೀವು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, ರೈಟ್? ಅಥವಾ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಈಕ್ವಿಲಿಬ್ರಿಯಂ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್, ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಫ್ರೀ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಚೇಂಜ್. ನೋಡಿ ಅದೇ ತರ ಇಲ್ಲಿದೆ 29A. Find the value of delta G naught at 25 degrees Celsius for the following electrochemical cell. One electrochemical cell is given, Cu bar Cu2 plus, right? Cu bar Cu2 plus. Concentration of copper plus 2 ions will be 1 molar. Then it will be Ag plus. And of course concentration is 1 molar, and of course Ag there. Yes. This is a solid. Yes. Copper is a solid. Yes. ಈಗ ಬನ್ನಿ. E naught of Ag is given. Standard electrode potential of silver is given 0.80 volts. Then standard electrode potential of copper is also given, that is plus 0.34 volts. Howda? Then F is given there, 96,500 coulombs, right? Write the cell reaction for the given cell representation. Or cell representation ge, yes it is cell representation ಬರಿಬೇಕು, ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಡೆಲ್ಟಾ ಜಿ ನಾಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಈ ಸೆಲ್ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಷನ್ ಗೆ ಸೆಲ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಬರೋಣ. ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ, ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಟ್ ಆನೋಡ್, ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಅಟ್ ಆನೋಡ್, ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾಥೋಡ್, ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಅಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾಥೋಡ್. ಹೌದಲ್ವಾ? ನಮ್ಮ ಸೆಲ್ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಷನ್ ಹೀಗೆ ತಾನೆ, ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಟ್ ಆನೋಡ್ ಫಾಲೋಡ್ ಬೈ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಅಟ್ ಆನೋಡ್, reactant at cathode followed by product at cathode. Reactants ಅನ್ನ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಬರೆದ್ಬಿಡಿ. Reactants ಇದೆ ನೋಡಿ. What are the reactants here? Cu is a reactant, Ag plus is a reactant, yes, and that gives products ಆದಿದೆ. Cu2 plus is a product, yes, in aqueous solution, and of course ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಯಾವ್ದಿದೆ, product is Ag, that is in solid state. ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ, Ag ಪ್ಲಸ್ 1 ಇದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ಲಸ್ 2 ಇದೆ, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಪ್ಲಸ್ 2 ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಬೈ ಆಡಿಂಗ್ 2 there. ಇದು 2Ag ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ ಇಟ್ as cell reaction. On the basis of this cell reaction, I can say that one atom of copper loses 2 electrons, and those 2 electrons will be taken up by 2 Ag plus ions. Therefore, N is equal to 2 for this, because delta G naught is equal to minus NF E naught of cell. ಹೌದಾ? N2 ಇದೆ, F ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ 96,500 coulombs ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. E naught of cell is equal to E naught of cathode minus E naught of anode ಅಲ್ವಾ? Cathode is silver, here it is, because standard electrode potential of silver is greater than standard electrode potential of copper. That's why 0.80 minus of 0.34, that is standard electrode potential of copper. Cathode minus anode ತಾನೆ, and it comes out to be, yes, it is 0.46 volts. This is E naught of cell. Substitute ಮಾಡಿ, N is equal to 2, 96,500 into 0.46, and it will be in terms of joules, right? You just simplify that, you will get the answer, right? That is 2 into 96,500 into 0.46. It comes out to be minus 88,780 joules. That is the delta G naught decrease in free energy when chemical energy is converted into electrical energy. This is what we call it as a numerical problem there. Yes. Question number B nodi 29B. State Kohlrausch law of independent migration of ions anta ide. You know, according to Kohlrausch law, limiting molar conductivity of an electrolyte is represented as the individual contribution of cations and anions present in the electrolytic solution. Or I can say, according to Kohlrausch law, limiting molar conductivity of an electrolyte is equal to the sum of the limiting ionic conductivities of cations and anions, each multiplied by the number of ions present in one formula unit of the electrolyte. That is what we call it as Kohlrausch law. Mathematically, if I say this is AXBY electrolyte adre, that is limiting molar conductivity of AXBY electrolyte is equal to sum of the limiting molar conductivities of cation and anion. Your cation is A plus, anion is B minus. Charge of A is plus Y, charge of B is minus X. How many A's are there? X, each multiplied by number of ions present in one formula unit. How many cations are there? X. How many anions are there? Y times. So this is what we call it as Kohlrausch law of independent migration of ions. That is, the limiting molar conductivity of an electrolyte is sum of the limiting ionic conductivities of cation and anion, each multiplied by number of ions present in one formula unit of electrolyte. This is what we call it as the Kohlrausch law there. Yes. During electrolysis of aqueous solution of sodium chloride, hydrogen gas is liberated at cathode because the standard electrode potential of H plus is greater than standard electrode potential of Na plus ions. As you know that during electrolysis of aqueous solution of sodium chloride, there is a competition between Na plus and H plus ions. In that competition, H plus ions will be preferably reduced compared to the Na plus ions to liberate hydrogen gas because the standard electrode potential of H plus is 0.0 volts. That is greater than standard electrode potential of Na plus ions, which is minus 2.71 volts, which is less than that of H plus ions. Hagagi hydrogen gas liberate agate. Yes, that is electrochemistry. Question number 13 nodi. That is from kinetics. Derive the integrated rate equation for the zero order reaction. 3 mark question. What is molecularity of a reaction? Give an example for bimolecular reaction. We'll see one by one. Yes. Now let us see the derivation of integrated rate equation for the zero order reaction. Consider a zero order reaction. R gives products. This is a zero order reaction. For zero order reaction, you know that is rate expression is minus dr by dt. That is, you should write R in the square bracket. That indicates molar concentration of reactant. That's equal to, yes, it is K into R to the power 0. Power 0 baribeku. Don't write 0 at the subscript. It should be written as a superscript. It represents order of reaction. Order of reaction 0 ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ R to the power of 0 is 1 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. That's equal to K. Order of 0 ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? 1 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. K ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಈಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? D of R is equal to, yes, it is KT ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Minus ಈಚೆ ಕಳಿಸಿದ್ರೆ D of R is equal to minus KT. This is differential equation. Yes. Sorry. You rewrite this equation. Yes. ನೋಡಿ ಈಗ minus dr is equal to, yes, it is K into dt ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Or I can say dr is equal to minus K into dt ಬರಿಬಹುದು. ಹೌದಾ? ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಇಕ್ವೇಶನ್ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಬೈ integration. Integrate on both sides. Integrate on both sides. Look at this. Integration of, yes, it is 1 with respect to r. This is integration of 1 with respect to r. That's equal to minus k constant. Integration of 1 with respect to t. That is what we call it as the integration there. Integration of 1 with respect to r is molar concentration r, that is minus k into s. Integration of 1 with respect to t is, yes, it is k into t, and of course plus integration constant I, and you call this equation as 1. Now you are supposed to calculate the value of integration constant. For that purpose, you can go for this at a time t equals 0. You know the concentration of reactant, that is at a time t equals 0 becomes initial concentration agate, and substitute these values in the equation 1. Again r ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿ, that is in the place of r you keep r naught, that's equal to minus k, t ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ 0 ಹಾಕಿ plus I integration constant. On the basis of this I can say that I is equal to initial concentration of reactant. Substitute that equation 1 and substitute ಮಾಡಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ. Therefore equation 1 becomes, that is r is equal to minus kt plus r naught ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. r terms ಅಲ್ಲಿ 1 ತಗೊಂಬನ್ನಿ, ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ತಗೊಂಬನ್ನಿ, t terms ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ತಗೊಂಬಂದ್ರೆ kt is equal to r naught. ಈ ಕಡೆ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಮೈನಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಮೈನಸ್ r naught minus r ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಎಸ್ ಮೈನಸ್ kt ಈಚೆ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ಲಸ್ kt ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. therefore k is equal to 1 by t. yes, r naught minus, yes, it is r. This is what we call it as the expression for zero order reaction. Integrated rate equation for the zero order reaction. Expression for rate constant for a zero order reaction. Yes. So this is the derivation. This carries 3 marks, and just practice this. Very simple it is. You can easily get 3 marks from this. Second question, what is molecularity of a reaction? Give an example for the bimolecular reaction. That is, molecularity refers to the number of reacting species taking part in elementary reaction which collide simultaneously to form products. That is called as molecularity. Number of reacting species taking part in elementary reaction which must collide simultaneously to form products. That is what we call it as molecularity. Example for the bimolecular reaction is this: decomposition of hydrogen iodide into, yes, it is H2 plus I2. This is an example for, yes, it is bimolecular reaction. 2 molecules are taken part in this reaction which undergo simultaneous collision to form products. Hagagi molecularity of this reaction is 2. That is one more question, that is question number 30 from reaction kinetics. What is Tyndall effect? Mention any one conditions for the Tyndall effect antide, 2 marks. What is dialysis? That carries 1 mark. Write any 2 differences between physical adsorption and chemical adsorption antide. Noda, what is Tyndall effect andre? Scattering of light by colloidal particles is called Tyndall effect. Scattering of light by colloidal particles is called Tyndall effect. ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಏನಿದೆ ಅಂದರೆ, that is mention any one condition. What are the conditions for Tyndall effect andre? That is, one condition is the diameter of the dispersive phase particles should not be less than the wavelength of the light used. Diameter of the dispersive phase particles in colloidal solution should not be much smaller than the wavelength of the light used. That is one condition. Second condition is there must be large difference in refractive indices of dispersive phase and dispersion medium. There must be large difference in refractive indices of dispersion medium and dispersive phase. This is the one more condition there. But nimage kelirodu onde condition. Okay na? What is dialysis andre? That is, dialysis is one of the methods of purification of colloidal solution. Process of removing dissolved substances from colloidal solution by diffusion through suitable membrane, by diffusion through suitable membrane. So that is what we call it as dialysis. That carries 1 mark. Write any two differences between physical adsorption and chemical adsorption into that. Very simple. I know physical adsorption is because of weak van der Waals force of attraction between physical adsorption is because of weak van der Waals force of attraction between adsorbate and adsorbent. Chemical adsorption is because of strong chemical bonds between adsorbate and adsorbent. Howda? Because of that, enthalpy of adsorption, enthalpy of physical adsorption is very less. That will be in the range of 20 to 40 kilojoules per mole. Howda? Whereas enthalpy of adsorption for the chemical adsorption is very high. It will be in the range of 80 to 240 kilojoules per mole. Okay, na? That is. At the same time, physical adsorption involves multimolecular layers formation, whereas chemical adsorption involves unimolecular layer formation. Howda? Second one is, next difference is, as far as physical adsorption is concerned, it is not specific in nature, whereas chemical adsorption is highly specific in nature. Howda? And physical adsorption does not require high activation energy, whereas chemical adsorption requires high activation energy because it involves chemical reaction between adsorbate and adsorbent. Howda? Apart from that, no surface compound is formed in physical adsorption, whereas chemical adsorption involves formation of surface compounds. And of course, physical adsorption is reversible, whereas chemical adsorption is irreversible. ಹೀಗೆ ನೀವು ಯಾವುದೇ ಎರಡು ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು ಆಗ್ಬೋದಾ? So this is what we call it as differences between physical adsorption and chemical adsorption. Yes. Now we'll come to the section 5 of part D that corresponds to the organic chemistry part. You are supposed to answer 4 questions out of 6. Okay, na? We'll see one by one. Question number 32 from haloalkanes and haloarenes chapter. Yes, we'll see that. Yes. Look at the question number 32 here. 2 mark question. Write SN1 mechanism for the hydrolysis of tertiary butyl bromide into tertiary butyl alcohol. Explain Fedig reaction. What is chirality? Howda? First we'll see 32A. That is SN1 mechanism. SN1 mechanism corresponds to, that is, 2-step mechanism involves formation of carbocation. Howda? It's a 2-step mechanism involves formation of carbocation. The rate of reaction is directly proportional to the first power of molar concentration of haloalkane only, and it is independent of the molar concentration of nucleophile. Look at the first step, that is formation of carbocation, right? And this is tertiary butyl bromide. Yes, I'm writing. This is tertiary butyl bromide. It's a slow step, undergoes dissociation, and that results in the formation of, yes, a stable tertiary carbocation. This is stable tertiary carbocation. Don't forget to write the charges over the carbon atom. This is positive charge, and plus it will be Br minus. This is first step. E bond break ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, carbocation ಮತ್ತೆ Br minus form ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Second step is, in the second step, this carbocation is attacked by, yes, the nucleophile OH minus ion. Nucleophile OH minus ion. This carbocation is attacked by the nucleophile OH minus ion. That results in the formation of a product. So that is tertiary butyl alcohol. Yes, this is the mechanism there. Okay, na? But you gamanisbeku. And this carbocation is characterized by sp2 hybridized carbon. This carbocation is characterized by sp2 hybridized carbon atom, and it is planar. Because of that, OH minus can attack carbocation above the plane as well as below the plane equally. Thereby, there is always a chance of formation of 50% D isomer and 50% L isomer in the case of optically active haloalkanes. And that's why, SN1 mechanism leads to racemization, we call it as. Because of that, SN1 mechanism leads to racemization. Yes, that is SN1 mechanism. ಈ 2 ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು, ನಿಮಗೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, 2 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಎಸ್, ಇವೆರಡು ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು ನಿಮಗೆ 2 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ Fitig reaction ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ Fitig reaction is reaction between aryl halides and sodium metal in presence of dry ether. Look at this. When aryl halide, like any aryl halide you can take, this is one of the aryl halides. When it reacts with sodium metal, yes, when it reacts with sodium metal, this is aryl halide, benzene ring attached to X. X can be any halogen atom plus 2Na plus X and of course C6H5. Look at this. This is the reaction that takes place in presence of dry ether. Yes, that takes place in presence of dry ether. That results in the product. Is what we call it as biphenyl. The product is biphenyl. This is biphenyl plus 2NaX. This is what we call it as biphenyl there. Yes. ಈಗ ಬನ್ನಿ, equation carries 1 mark, explanation carries 1 mark. ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ರೀತಿ ಅಟ್ ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲನೇಟರಿ ಇಕ್ವೇಶನ್ ಬರೀಬೇಕು. ಅರೈಲ್ ಹಲೈಡ್, ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಮೆಟಲ್, ಎಸ್, ಓಕೆನಾ, ಅಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಡ್ರೈ ಈಥರ್ ಬೈಫಿನಲ್. ಇಷ್ಟು ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು ನಿಮಗೆ 2 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಇಲ್ಲ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲನೇಷನ್ ಬರೆದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇಕ್ವೇಶನ್ ಬರೀಬೇಕು. ಎಸ್. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ನೋಡಿ, ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ chirality? Chirality is a phenomenon in which the molecule is non-superimposable on its mirror image, and the molecules are chiral molecules. Okay, na? That is chirality. Now let us see question number 33. That is from alcohols, phenols and ethers chapter. Yes. Most probable question, 3 mark question. Explain the mechanism of acid catalyzed dehydration of ethanol to ethene. Look at this first step, that is protonation of ethanol. Yes, this is ethanol. CS3, CS2H. Oxygen carries lone pair of electrons. In presence of catalyst, that is acid, protonation of ethanol takes place. Lone pair of electrons will be donated to H plus ion. Thereby, you are going to get that is what we call it as oxonium ion. You are getting, you are going to get oxonium ion, that is OH2 plus ಬರುತ್ತೆ. You write oxygen ಮೇಲೆ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಬರೀಬೇಕು. ಎಸ್, ಈ ಲೋನ್ ಪೇರ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ H plus ಅಬ್ಸಾರ್ಬ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು OH ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, OH2 plus positive charge is there on the, yes, it is oxygen there. Second step only, the product of the first step, and of course it undergoes decomposition in the second step. ಈ ಏನು ಆಕ್ಸೋನಿಯಂ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ನಾನು, ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಆಕ್ಸೋನಿಯಂ ion I said, it decomposes because oxygen highly electronegative and supported by positive charge. Therefore, it attracts the sigma electrons towards it and thereby it decomposes to form a carbocation, that is ethyl carbocation. Yes. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಗಮನಿಸಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ, you must write positive charge on the carbon, ethyl carbocation plus H2O. ನನಗೆ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಈ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, you should differentiate. This plus is on the carbon, this plus is for the equation. It's a charge of the carbon, it's a equation. ಇವೆರಡು ಮಧ್ಯೆ ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಲಿ ಅಂತ ಬರಿತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಥರ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೋಡಿ, the product of the second step is the reactant of the third step. This carbocation undergoes elimination. ಹೌದಾ? And that leads to, yes, it is look here, yes, it is look at this. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಟು ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡಬಲ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ H ಇದೆ, yes, it is H. ಈ H ಇದೆಲ್ಲ, ಈ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಲೈಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, and of course plus H plus, and this is ethene. This is the mechanism for the conversion of ethanol to ethene. All reactions, all steps are reversible. Okay, na? Adani gamnisi, right? First step is, yes, it is fast step. Second step is slow step. So this is what we call it as the mechanism of acid catalyzed dehydration of ethanol to ethene. Yes. 33B ನೋಡಿ, write equation for the conversion of phenol to benzene ಅಂತಿದೆ. Phenol can be converted to benzene by reduction using zinc there. Okay, na? Look at this. This is phenol. When it reacts with zinc on heating, zinc removes oxygen from phenol and it becomes benzene. And this is zinc oxide. This is conversion of phenol to benzene. Okay, na? This is equation. What is the effect of nitro group on the acidic strength of phenol? Nitro group increases acidic strength of phenol because nitro group is an electron withdrawing group that stabilizes phenoxyl ion. Electron withdrawing groups are going to stabilize phenoxyl ion, thereby acidic strength of phenol increases. Whereas electron releasing groups like methyl group, they decrease the stability of phenoxyl ion, thereby they decrease acidic strength of phenol. Yes, that is. ನಿಮಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟೇ ಕೇಳೋದು ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಸಿಂಪ್ಲಿ ಯು ರೈಟ್ acidic strength of phenol increases in presence of electron withdrawing nitro group. Yes, next one. Question number 34 nodi, that is from aldehydes and ketones only. Nodi, aldehydes, ketones and carboxylic acids in the ಎರಡು questions ಬರ್ತದೆ. Question number 34 is from aldehydes and ketones. 35 is from monocarboxylic acids. Totally ಎರಡು questions 5 marks. Okay na? Look at that. Identify P and Q in the following reaction. ಒಂದು ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Look at this. This is benzene. Right above the aromat, carbon monoxide ಇದೆ, HCl ಇದೆ, anhydrous aluminum chloride ಇದೆ. Yes, this is P ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಓಕೆನಾ? With this P undergoes concentrated sulfuric acid, concentrated nitric acid ಅಂತ ತಕ್ಷಣ nitration ನೆನಪಾಗುತ್ತೆ at about 273 to 283 Kelvin. So you're going to get Q. Benzene reacts with carbon monoxide in presence of HCl, and of course the reaction is carried out in presence of anhydrous aluminum chloride. This is Gattermann-Coase reaction. Hagagi, no, yes, it is benzene. Okay, now is converted to, yes, benzaldehyde. This is benzaldehyde, what we call it as PEEP. This is preparation of benzaldehyde from benzene by Gattermann-Coase reaction. Look at this benzaldehyde. Aldehyde group is meta-directing group. It undergoes nitration. Okay, na? And CHO group is electron withdrawing group. Directs incoming electrophile to attack meta position. So anyway, nitrating product is meta product. ಇದು CHO group ಇಲ್ಲಿದ್ರೆ this is meta product. Yes. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಿಬೇಡಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೆದ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. Yes. With respect to this, this is a nitro group and of course meta nitro benzaldehyde. Yes. Okay na? ಈಗ ನೋಡಿ ಕೆಲವು ಸಲ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ CHO ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀತೀವಿ, ಆಗ ಮೆಟಾ ನೈಟ್ರೋ ಬೆಂಜಾಲ್ಡಿಹೈಡ್ ನೋಡಿ CHO ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ನೈಟ್ರೋ ಗ್ರೂಪ್. ಎಸ್, ಇಲ್ಲೂ ಮೆಟಾ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಟು ಈಚ್ ಅದರ್, ಇಲ್ಲೂ ಮೆಟಾ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಟು ಈಚ್ ಅದರ್. ಅದನ್ನು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಗಮನಿಸಿ. ಎಸ್, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ನೋಡಿ, ಹೌ ಇಸ್ ketone prepared from benzene? Write general equation for the reaction ಅಂತಿದೆ. That is, benzene can be converted into aromatic ketone by the reaction known as Friedel-Crafts acylation reaction. Benzene can be converted into aromatic ketone by using Friedel-Crafts acylation. You know, Friedel-Crafts acylation is carried out in presence of Friedel-Crafts catalyst, that is anhydrous aluminum chloride. And look at this. This is benzene there. When it reacts with acyl chloride, this is acyl chloride. General equation ಬರಿಬೇಕಂತ ಹೇಳಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ I'm going to get this is acyl chloride in presence of anhydrous aluminum chloride. Very simple. You are going to get so this is what we call it as the aromatic ketone plus HCl. This is what we call it as aromatic ketone. This is acyl chloride. This is benzene. Reaction is Friedel-Crafts acylation. This is how benzene can be converted to ketone by using Friedel-Crafts acylation. Yes. 2 mark question. Explanation 1 mark. Equation 1 mark. Yes. Identify A and P in the following reaction. And the reaction ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ with carbonyl group. Yes. That reacts with hydrogen. Yes. That reacts with hydrogen to form A. Alright, A ಬರುತ್ತೆ. That product A is heated with potassium hydroxide in presence of high boiling ethylene glycol. Yes. Okay, na? On heating, you are going to get a B. You are supposed to identify the product B. This is Wolff-Christian reduction. This is Wolff-Christian reduction of converting aldehydes and ketones to their respective hydrocarbons. This is hydrazone. Carbonyl compound reacts with hydrogen to give hydrazone. This is AI. This upon heating with KOH in presence of high boiling ethylene glycol, it loses nitrogen minus N2 adre uliyadenu. This is CS2 plus N2. So this is what hydrocarbon, that is alkane. Wolff-Christian reduction similar to Clemmensen reduction. Clemmensen reduction lo kuda CO group is converted to CS2 group, but in presence of zinc amalgam in hydrochloric acid. So that's the difference there. Yes. Here nodi. That is question number 34 from aldehydes ketones. Then 35 nodi, from carboxylic acids only. How are carboxylic acids prepared from Grignard reagent? That is first question, carries 2 marks. Next, how are acid anhydrides are prepared? That is one more question that also carries 2 marks. Third question, give reason. Electron donating groups decrease acidic strength of carboxylic acids anta. Istu prashnegaliದೆ, 3 ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳು. Total 5 marks for this, right? Preparation of carboxylic acids from Grignard reagent. You know Grignard reagent, it is represented as RMGX. That reacts with dry ice. Dry ice is solid carbon dioxide. Solid carbon dioxide ಈ ತರ ಬರ್ಕೋತೀನಿ ನಾನು. C double bond O, C double bond O. ಅದು CO2. ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ R minus is, R is negatively charged, Mg is positively charged, minus attacks plus because carbon is positively charged. Then O minus absorbs Mg plus, and ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ R, and of course C double bond O MgX. Negative part is attracted by positive part of the Grignard reagent. Positive part is attracted by the negative part of the Grignard reagent. Yes. And this undergoes hydrolysis. Acid hydrolysis leads to RC double bond OH plus MgX already there, and of course OH bharutte. This is carboxylic acids. That is dry ice reacts with Grignard reagent, and of course in presence of dry ether. That is compulsory. Whenever Grignard reagent is used, you must use dry ether as a solvent. That results in the formation of intermediate compound, which upon hydrolysis results in the formation of carboxylic acids. Okay na? ಈಗ ಬನ್ನಿ B ನೋಡಿ. That is, how are carboxylic acids are converted into anhydrides? ಅಥವಾ how do you prepare anhydrides? Anhydrides are the compounds of carboxylic acids obtained through dehydration. ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ. That is, this is carboxylic acid. When it reacts with strong dehydrating agents like concentrated sulfuric acid or phosphorus pentoxide, when carboxylic acids are heated in presence of strong dehydrating agents like phosphorus pentoxide or concentrated sulfuric acid, dehydration takes place, removal of water, that results in what we call it as the class of organic compounds known as acid anhydrides. This is acid anhydride. This is carboxylic acid. Carboxylic acids can be converted into acid anhydrides by dehydration. Yes. Next one. Electron donating groups decrease the acidic strength of carboxylic acids because electron releasing groups are going to destabilize carboxylate ion. Electron releasing groups are going to destabilize carboxylate ion, thereby they decrease acidic strength of carboxylic acids. Whereas electron withdrawing groups, they are going to stabilize carboxylate ion. Electron releasing groups bandra CS3 group ide, that is electron releasing group. Hauda? C2H5 group ide, that is also electron releasing group. Electron withdrawing groups bandra nitro group ide, cyano group ide, aldehyde group ide. Like that, electron withdrawing groups increase acidic strength, electron donating groups decrease acidic strength. Yes. Question number 36 ನೋಡಿ, that is from amines chapter. Yes, explain the action of nitrous acid on primary aliphatic amines. That is interesting. Yes, explain the action of nitrous acid on primary aliphatic amines, because ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ the primary aliphatic amines react with nitrous acid that is different from those of the primary aromatic amines. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ aliphatic ಅಂತ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Second question, explain off-1 bromide reaction with example. ಹೇಳೋಣ. And between aniline and ammonia, which will have higher pKb value. Okay na? First one, that is what is that? Action of nitrous acid on primary. Yes, it is aliphatic. Now this is primary. This is primary aliphatic amine. Yes, that reacts with yes, it is nitrous acid. Okay na? At low temperature. Nitrous acid is nothing but sodium nitrite in dilute HCl at about 0 degrees Celsius. ಹೌದಾ? Look at this dehydration. ಈ ತರ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ reaction. You are going to get a one compound that is unstable, N double bond N OH. ಹೌದಾ? ಈ compound unstable ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ loses nitrogen gas and gets converted to, yes, it is alcohol. And you observe there NH2 group is replaced by OH group. This is the action of nitrous acid on aliphatic primary amines. Aliphatic primary amines react with nitrous acid at low temperature to form alcohols. Ade, that is primary aromatic amines ಆದರೆ you are going to get diazonium salts. ಅದನ್ನ diazotization ಅಲ್ಲಿ discuss ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. Okay na? So that is explain off-1 bromide reaction with an example ಅಂತಿದೆ. Yes, it is off-1 bromide reaction is the reaction where amides will be converted into yes, it is amides will be converted into primary amines, that is RNS2, right? And of course 2KBr plus K2CO3 plus H2O ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ K2 KBr2 ಇದೆ ನೋಡಿ, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 2KBr ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಪೊಟ್ಯಾಷಿಯಂ 4 ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ 4KOH ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ 4 ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ yes, it will be 5 ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ 2H2 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. This is off-1 degradation. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ the number of carbon atoms in amide will be greater than the number of carbon atoms in amine, ಅಥವಾ number of carbon atoms in primary amine formed will be less than that in the case of amide. The length of carbon chain decreased. That's why it is degradation reaction. In off-1 bromide reaction, length of carbon chain will be decreased. That's why it is degradation reaction. Okay na? Example ಕೇಳಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ you can give any example. That is acetamide reacts with bromine plus 4KOH ಅಥವಾ 4NaOH ಬರಿಬಹುದು. Aqueous or alcoholic potassium hydroxide upon heating. Or ಬದಲಾಗಿ CS3, that is CS3 NH2 plus 2KBr plus 2K2CO3 plus 2H2O. This is what we call off-1 degradation. Yes. Between aniline and ammonia, which will have higher pKb value, that is, as pKb value increases, basic strength decreases. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನೀವು ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದೇನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ between ammonia and aniline, which is more basic. Ammonia is more basic, ಅಥವಾ aniline is less basic. Less basic compounds will have higher pKb value. Therefore, aniline has higher pKb value. Yes, aniline has higher pKb value. Agboda? That is one mark question. That is question number 36 from amines. 37, the last question of the model paper 3. That is from biomolecules chapter. Yes. Write the Howard structure of alpha D fructofuranose. ಆಮೇಲೆ second question ನೋಡಿ, what is peptide bond ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. Yes. And that we have one sub question, right? How many amino acids are combined to form tripeptide? What kind of bonds holds together the nucleic acid chains in helical structure of DNA ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. First, Haworth structure of alpha D fructofuranose. Furanose. And you can remember furan ring. This is furan ring, yes, with 4 carbon atoms and 1 oxygen. 5-membered ring, furan ring. And of course, remaining will be attached. The carbon, the bonds, groups attached to the carbon atom will be written above and below the plane. Now, alpha D fructofuranose ಬರಿಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ CH2OH one side ಬರೆದ್ಬಿಡಿ, cis to each other. ಇದು number 1, ಇದು number 2, this is number 3, this is number 4, this is number 5, this is number 6. ಇದು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಬರೆದ್ಬಿಡಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಇದು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಬರೆದ ಮೇಲೆ H 2 3 4 position ಅಲ್ಲಿ they are trans to each other. H opposite ಬರಿಬೇಕು. CS to CS same. It will be the same. Alpha ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ OH is below the plane. ಇಲ್ಲಿ OH, ಇಲ್ಲಿ OH, CS2 and here it is H. This is alpha D fructofuranose. Beta ಬರಿಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ OH ಮೇಲೆ ಮಾಡಿ, CS2H ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. This is second carbon atom is anomeric carbon atom. This is alpha D fructofuranose. ಆಯ್ತಾ? What is peptide bond ಅಂದ್ರೆ? Peptide bond is the amide linkage. Peptide bond is a amide linkage that is formed when carboxyl group of one amino acid. Carboxyl group of one amino acid is condensed with amino group of another amino acid. That results in the formation of the amide linkage of this type, NS2 and of course CH, and it is R, and of course nodi CONH bond ideyala, this is amide linkage, this is peptide bond, and this is CHR, and of course C double bond OH. This is what we call it as peptide linkage. The amide linkage formed when carboxyl group of one amino acid is condensed with amino group of another amino acid. That is what we call it as peptide bond. If 2 amino acids are involved in the formation of peptide bond, it will be dipeptide. If 3 amino acids are involved in the formation of peptides, you are going to get tripeptides. If 4 amino acids are involved in the formation of peptides, it will be tetrapeptides. How many amino acids combine to form tripeptide? 3 amino acids combine to form tripeptide. And remember, a tripeptide contains 2 peptide linkages. Okay, na? C nodi, 37 C nodi. What kind of bonds hold together the 2 nucleic acid chains in helical structure of DNA? And of course, helical structure of DNA ಬರಿಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಈ ರೀತಿ ಬರಿತೀವಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ? Yes. This is one nucleic acid chain, this is another nucleic acid chain, ಹೌದಾ? And here we have bases. Specific bases ಇದೆ, AT, G, C, ಈ ತರ bases ಇದೆ, ಹೌದಾ? And that is A always pairs with the T. A always pairs with the T through 2 hydrogen bonds. T always pairs with A through 2 hydrogen bonds. C always pairs with the G with the 3 hydrogen bonds. Andre, these nucleic acid chains are held together by hydrogen bonds. That hydrogen bonding takes place between 2 specific base pairs. A forms 2 hydrogen bonds with, adenine forms 2 hydrogen bonds with thymine. Guanine forms 3 hydrogen bonds with cytosine. And that is, the sequence of bases in one nucleic acid chain is complementary to the sequence of bases in the another nucleic acid chain. And of course, your answer is hydrogen bonds. Okay, na? So that's the model paper 3. In the next video, we'll see model paper 4. Okay, na? And remember, as I said already, and I'm going to give you one link in the description box of this particular video. Use that link to download the PDF of the notes, that is a PDF of the that is model paper 3 that we discussed so far. Okay, na? So this is the model paper 3. Okay, na? We'll see in the model paper 4 in the next video. Okay, na? Thank you very much.